This is Pastor Ignatius, a homily for the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year C. The issue of hoarding has become a real issue facing us today, particularly in the developed world. People have too much and don't know what to do with it. The Gospel talks about hoarders. And sadly, Jesus recalls the story of a man who had too much, and thinking that it all belonged to him, he built bigger barns to put his excess produce into. Jesus provides us with a twist in the story of success. He tells us that his soul was called upon one night, and then his hoard had to remain behind. Whose was it? Who owned the excess surplus? Well, one of the things this man failed to realize was that it belonged to God. Everything that is given us belongs to him. But this understanding of life and of our possessions cannot come easily to us, for we love to cling onto what is or what we consider to be ours. The way to understand this, that we are only servants and not owners, is to acknowledge the admonition of St. Paul, and in particular the book of Ecclesiastes, in today's first reading. Ecclesiastes makes it very clear that the preacher says, all is vanity. In its original context, vanity means something that disappears. It appears good on the surface, but it's hollow on the inside. It has no value. St. Paul tells us that the way to recognize and acknowledge the value of things is to put our minds completely on the things that are in heaven, where Christ is seated at the Father's right hand. That's where true life is. That's where true life belongs. That's where we belong. Our thoughts, says St. Paul, should be on heavenly things, because we have died with Christ, and our life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ is revealed, our glory as sons of the Father will also be revealed. But in order for this reality to become true in our lives, we need to kill our earthly desires. And in that sense, St. Paul tells us we have done two things. Firstly, we must strip off our old behavior. And that old behavior has desires that are not compatible with a heavenly lifestyle. The new self is the real self, is the heavenly self. We are created in the image of the Creator, and as such, that is our real identity. There is only Christ, says St. Paul, and he is everything, and he is in everything. Therefore, the antidote to hoarding is to acknowledge that we are spiritual beings, not earthbound. Therefore, it behoves us to be able to put on the mentality of St. Paul, the mentality in our thoughts and desires that place us in the heavenly realms, that our thoughts should be on heavenly spiritual affairs and concerns, not in our earthly worries. The earthly concerns we have to be put into context, and the context is very simple. Everything is passing. We can't take it with us. We thank God for heaven,